So anyway, this is Operations Officer Windfall. I work for the CIA as under the non-official cover flag. I'm no fag. What do you say I'm a fag? I'm not a faggot. Well, I am queer though. Anyway, and I'm in Seattle, Washington. I'm standing in front of or beside the Seattle Times building. There's an American flag and there's some other goddamn flag underneath it. And I'm adjacent, or behind me, is a park marked employees only. Anyway, so for those who are uninitiated in tradecraft and, of course, things that come with that, there is a possibility that someone could get a sample of your DNA and they could construct weapons that would only affect you, usually in combination with other substances. So, today, of course, like every day, almost every day, I'm routinely attacked by these toxins. Sometimes people actually try to shoot me with guns, but I'm usually able to avoid it. So far I've been able to avoid it. Sometimes they try to blow me up with bombs. Been able to avoid that too. But today, of course, I had a suspicion because I got messages and signals from my friends in high places that they would make an attempt on my life. Anyway, so in this case, it was three substances. There was a substance I was exposed to yesterday. There was another substance I was exposed to yesterday, and there was a third substance I was exposed to this morning. When the third substance hit my bloodstream, well, basically, I could have died if I had not taken appropriate action. Now, if you're a member of the Special Air Service, you know that survival depends on quick thinking. So I am thinking quickly. I'm watching. I'm thinking. See, the problem is that they usually try a quick turnabout. So anyway, I'm watching two individuals look like they're individuals. Anyway, and there I am in beautiful downtown Burbank, California style. Don't I look beautiful? Don't I look gorgeous? So anyway, if you're aware of this, then you're of course aware of it. I have friends, and my friends are real friends. They're not imitation friends. They're not demon monkeys. But what is a demon monkey? Okay, now just go back to a film. For we must always go back to film. And one of the films that you need to look at is Prophecy. You should also look at Legion. That's another film that's interesting. But Prophecy, in the Prophecy, there was the angel Gabriel that came down to someplace on Earth, and then proceeded to, basically look for a soul eater. And the soul eater, of course, was someone who is of a great and terrible deep devilish. He was actually a lieutenant colonel in the Korean War. But anyway, the idea was to bring about hell on earth, which of course would have made Gabriel very happy. You had to get rid of all the souls. So that means you had to have a soul eater, something that could devour other souls. And so that's the thing. Then, of course, Gabriel can't drive a car. Why can't Gabriel, an angel, an archangel, drive a car? Well, he needs a monkey to drive a car. That's it. He just needs a monkey. So, anyway, now a fallen angel, of course, is a demon. And then if you have a demon inhabiting a monkey, then of course you have a demon monkey. That's what a demon monkey is. You can almost think of it in terms of acronyms. So if I say DOB, I mean demon on board. So I'm walking down the street in Seattle. It's the 17th of June, 2012. And I see a whole host of demon monkeys. Left of me, behind me, they're to the right of me, they're in front of me, they're up and they're down, they're everywhere. That's what a demon monkey is. It's a former human who now has become a hybrid, sort of a thing not natural at all. A demon monkey. Anyway, the demon monkeys have spread. According to my latest information, latest update, Demon monkeys pretty much dominate this planet now. All right, now to get a demon monkey to work, that is, not to take it to work, not to take it to the employment where it's being employed. Of course, they are employed. What you have to have happen is a soul must be removed from the monkey. And once the soul is removed from the monkey, well, the soul is removed from the human, which is, of course, an advanced primate. Once the soul is removed, then you have basically a monkey. You still have the functionality. You have the memory, the mental capacity, or whatever. You have all these things, but you basically just have a monkey. Has no will, has no volition. So it makes it a perfect vehicle for demons. So the demon, which is a non-corporeal thing, goes into the monkey and says, "Hey, I like this monkey. I think I'll keep it." They don't have to keep the monkey. They can always go to another monkey. Now, when the monkey dies, they must find another monkey in very short order, in very short distance. There is another movie called Fallen with Denzel Washington. Great movie. It reveals a lot of the attributes, a lot of the characteristics of this transference. So anyway, the transference occurs, and then of course the demon says, "Well, I have a new monkey. I'm so happy. I like this monkey. I think I like my other monkey better, but it's like a car. You get used to it." So that's basically it. Now the question always is, well, how did this phenomenon occur? Well, it occurred because it was destined to occur. It was always destined to occur. It was always in the works. There's always going to be a time, just like what you basically call the apocalypse or the tribulation, when demons would basically dominate the planet. Anyway, that's it. Now, of course, you have to go back to ancient times. Now, the Holy Bible, as I say it, I always like to say that because it sounds so funny. The Holy Bible says that the world became corrupt because of, demons, fallen angels. And they had corrupted the world to such an extent that the Lord, I should say the Lord, I always should say the Lord, said, I must destroy the earth and everything on it and everything in it. So the Lord did. Now the question is, was the Lord able to destroy the the demons? Destroyed the monkeys, destroyed all living things, everything, completely. But it couldn't destroy the demons because demons, by their very nature, are eternal, as is the Lord. So the demons stayed. Now, I think, the way I understand it, there was a great event, a great star fell from the sky and literally pushed all the remaining demons out into, the abyss, into the deep space, where they remained for a long, long time. But some remained deep in the earth, in vessels, not organic vessels, but still vessels, and they remained. So, in time, the earth moved and things changed, geological periods and so on and so forth. And the demons arose from their graves, their capsules, let's say, and they reached the surface. Now, some of them were very, very, let's just say they're very nasty. Very nasty. Now, one of the really nasty ones, of course, mated, which is a very unexpected event. Now, if you ever watched the movie Jurassic Park, you got to remember that random events do occur, and these random events can have profound consequences. So anyway, they mated, and they lived in a sort of a shelter, which is basically a deep hole in the ground. This deep hole in the ground was in a very sandy and flat area, sometimes known as Saudi Arabia, sometimes known as Babylon, sometimes known as, anything you like. But it's a sandy, gray area. So that's what happened. They mated. Now, the question is, you have one species and you have another species. Now, if you have two things of the same species, can they actually mate? I mean, can they copulate? Now, worms copulate like that. You know, you have one worm copulating against another worm. Well, unfortunately for this planet, there was something else that entered the picture. And it begins with the letter J. J as in John. So it's more like Jon. So John entered the picture, and so we had a menage a trois. And that produced, of course, a terribly powerful field of, well, I would just call it darkness. The darkness fell deep into the earth. And then when it arose, of course, you had the idea of an evil empire, let's say. Incredibly evil empire. And this evil empire arose in the shadow of a phenomenon called the Catholic Church, which it basically was just called the Church, or the Universal Church. Anyway, and then these two things in time supported each other, literally gave each other credence. And that occurred primarily in the 1960s Common Era, and then reached its full force in 1979. Now, in 1978, there was the I guess you would say the preamble. It's sort of like when you have an orchestra trying to begin to start to play. There's a phenomenon, I don't know what it's called. It's like the warm-up. But then the pitch occurred in 1979. But the warm-up was there in 1978. Now the question is, who kicked off the process? Who? Exactly. And then, of course, what happens is, in 1974 specifically, who started the process? And then, of course, this process began and culminated in the great and terrible event, which is the interdimensional shift of 2001. The harbinger, the signal that this was definitely going to occur, the arrival of all of them, that is, the demons that had been expelled into deep space, occurred in 2000. I witnessed it. I swear, I witnessed it with my own eyes. I took a picture of it. You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Actually worth more. So that's what happened. So now, pretty much for the last 11 years, no, not more than that. Yeah, about 11 years. The last 11 years, this planet has become infected to the extent that the Lord should, I know I'm not going to say the Lord should or should not do, the Lord should destroy this planet. The Lord will destroy it if it reaches a level of infection, or we should say inability to redeem itself. And if that does occur, if it's nastiness and naughtiness and basically corruption, it reaches a level that the earth itself cries out, the Lord will destroy this planet. That hasn't occurred yet. But I believe, it's my personal belief, and I'm just one of the workers. I'm just one of the workers. I'm a worker bee. Yes, I'm the worker. I work for the CIA too. But that's only because I need to. They need me. I need them. But anyway, all good people, whoever you are, if you're still alive, you're not turned into one of them, then you must remember, you must be diligent. You must be aware. And you must get yourself a fast car. Get yourself at least a Maserati, if not a Lamborghini. I'd rather have a Lamborghini myself. I don't know. Maseratis are okay. I'm not going to even touch a Ferrari. And I'm not going to touch a Porsche. I don't like Germans because they're like all fucking Nazis. That's just my opinion. I shouldn't say that. That's actually slander. I slandered somebody. Didn't actually slander them. To slander someone is to lie about someone. But someone could charge me with slander, and that was because I produced some information from a confidential informant that I posted to YouTube, which I'm going to do right now. Anyway, the time is approximately 9:11, and it is on the June 17th, 2012, and I have seen the light. And the light is big and bright, and it will shine on everywhere in time. Kiss, kiss, love, love, bang, bang.